Axum or Axum is a city in the northern part of Ethiopia. The town has a population of 56,500 residents, and is governed as an urban wäräda. The original capital of the Kingdom of Aksum, it is one of the oldest continuously inhabited places in Africa. Axum was a naval and trading power that ruled the region from about 400 BCE into the 10th century. In 1980 UNESCO added Axum's archaeological sites to its list of World Heritage Sites due to their historic value. Located in the Meoklegno zone of the Tigray region near the base of the Adwa Mountains, Axum has an elevation of 2,131 meters. Axum is surrounded by Lamale Meku wäräda. History. Axum was the center of the marine trading power known as the Axumite Kingdom, which predated the earliest mentions in Roman-era writings. Around 356 CE, its ruler was converted to Christianity by Frumentius. Later, under the reign of Caleb, Axum was a quasi-ally of Byzantium against the Persian Empire. The historical record is unclear, with ancient church records the primary contemporary sources. It is believed it began a long slow decline after the 7th century due partly to the Persians and finally the Arabs contesting old Red Sea trade routes. Eventually Axum was cut off from its principal markets in Alexandria, Byzantium and southern Europe, and its trade share was captured by Arab traders of the era. The Kingdom of Axum was finally destroyed by Gudit, and eventually some of the people of Axum were forced south and their civilization declined. As the kingdom's power declined, so did the influence of the city, which is believed to have lost population in the decline, similar to Rome and other cities thrust away from the flow of world events. The last known king to reign was crowned in about the 10th century, but the kingdom's influence and power ended long before that. Its decline in population and trade then contributed to the shift to the power center of the Ethiopian Empire south to the Igor region as it moved further inland. The city of Axum was the administrative seat of an empire spanning 1 million square miles. Eventually, the alternative name was adopted by the central region, and subsequently, the present modern state. Axum Kingdom and Ethiopian Church. The Kingdom of Axum had its own written language, Ge'ez, and developed a distinctive architecture exemplified by giant obelisks, the oldest of which date from 5000 to 2000 BCE. The kingdom was at its height under King Asana, baptized as a Bria, in the 4th century. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church claims that the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion in Axum houses the biblical Ark of the Covenant, in which lie the tablets of law upon which the Ten Commandments are inscribed. The historical records and Ethiopian traditions suggest that it was from Axum that Makeda, the Queen of Sheba, journeyed to visit King Solomon in Jerusalem. She had a son, Menelik, fathered by Solomon. He grew up in Ethiopia but traveled to Jerusalem as a young man to visit his father's homeland. He lived several years in Jerusalem before returning to his country with the Ark of the Covenant. According to the Ethiopian Church and Ethiopian tradition, the Ark still exists in Axum. This same church was the site where Ethiopian emperors were crowned for centuries until the reign of Fasilides, then again beginning with Uranes IV until the end of the empire. Axum is considered to be the holiest city in Ethiopia and is an important destination of pilgrimages. Significant religious festivals are the Timkat Festival on January 19 and the Festival of Mayam Zion on November 24. In 1937, a 24-meter-tall, 1,700-year-old obelisk of Axum, broken into 5 parts and lying on the ground, was found and shipped by Italian soldiers to Rome to be erected. The obelisk is widely regarded as one of the finest examples of engineering from the height of the Axumite Empire. Despite a 1947 United Nations agreement that the obelisk would be shipped back, Italy balked, resulting in a long-standing diplomatic dispute with the Ethiopian government, which views the obelisk as a symbol of national identity. In April 2005, Italy finally returned the obelisk pieces to Axum amidst much official and public rejoicing. Italy also covered the $4 million costs of the transfer. UNESCO assumed responsibility for the reinstallation of this stele in Axum, and by the end of July 2008 the obelisk had been reinstalled. It was unveiled on September 4, 2008. Axum and Islam. The Aksumite Empire has a long-standing relationship with Islam. According to Ibn Hisham, when Prophet Muhammad faced oppression from the Quraysh clan, he sent a small group that included his daughter Ruqayyah and her husband Uthman ibn Affan to Axum. Sahama, the Aksumite emperor, gave them refuge and protection. He refused the requests of the Quraysh clan to send these refugees back to Arabia. These refugees did not return until the 6th year of the Hijra, and even then many remained in Ethiopia, eventually settling at Nagash in eastern Tigray. There are different traditions concerning the effect these early Muslims had on the ruler of Axum. The Muslim tradition is that the ruler of Axum was so impressed by these refugees that he became a secret convert. On the other hand, Arabic historians and Ethiopian tradition state that some of the Muslim refugees who lived in Ethiopia during this time converted to Orthodox Christianity. There is also a second Ethiopian tradition that, on the death of Ashama ibn Abjur, Muhammad is reported to have prayed for the king's soul, and told his followers, "Leave the Abyssinians in peace, as long as they do not take the offensive." Main sites. The major Aksumite monuments in the town are stelae. These obelisks are around 1,700 years old and have become a symbol of the Ethiopian people's identity. The largest number are in the northern stelae park, ranging up to the 33-meter-long Great Stele, believed to have fallen and broken during construction. The obelisk of Axum was removed by the Italian army in 1937, and returned to Ethiopia in 2005 and reinstalled July 31, 2008. This stele was already broken into pieces before being shipped. The next tallest is the 24-meter King Asana Stele. Three more stelae measure 18.2 meters high, 1.56 meters wide, 0.76 meters deep, weighing 56 tons. 15.8 meters high, 2.35 meters wide, 1 meters deep, weighing 75 tons. 15.3 meters high, 1.47 meters wide, 0.78 meters deep, weighing 43 tons. The stelae are believed to mark graves and would have had cast metal discs affixed to their sides, which are also carved with architectural designs. The Gudit stelae to the west of town, unlike the northern area, are interspersed with mostly 4th century tombs. The other major feature of the town are the old and new cathedrals of St. Mary of Zion. The old St. Mary of Zion Cathedral was built in 1665 by Emperor Fasilides and said to have previously housed the Ark of the Covenant. The original cathedral, said to have been built by Asana and augmented several times after, was believed to have been massive with 12 naves. It was burned to the ground by Gudit, rebuilt, and then destroyed again during the Grand Wars of the 1500s. It was again rebuilt by Emperor Gelawdwas, and Emperor Fasilides replaced that structure with the present one. Only males are permitted entry into the old St. Mary's Cathedral. The new Cathedral of St. Mary of Zion stands next to the old one, and was built to fulfill a pledge by Emperor Haile Selassie to Our Lady of Zion for the liberation of Ethiopia from the fascist occupation. Built in a Neo-Byzantine style, work on the new cathedral began in 1955, and allows admittance to women. Emperor Haile Selassie interrupted the state visit of Britain's Queen Elizabeth II to travel to Axum to attend the dedication of the new cathedral and pay personal homage, showing the importance of this church in the Ethiopian Empire. The Queen visited the cathedral a few days later. Between the two cathedrals is a small chapel known as the Chapel of the Tablet, built at the same time as the new cathedral, and which is believed to house the Ark of the Covenant. Emperor Haile Selassie's consort, Empress Menen, paid for its construction from her private funds. Admittance to the chapel is closed to all but the guardian monk who resides there. Entrance is even forbidden to the Patriarch of the Orthodox Church, and to the Emperor of Ethiopia during the monarchy. The two cathedrals and the Chapel of the Ark are the focus of pilgrimage and considered the holiest sites in Ethiopia to members of its Orthodox Church. Other attractions in Axum include archaeological and ethnographic museums, the Asana Stone written in Sabine, Ge'ez and ancient Greek in a similar manner to the Rosetta Stone, King Barzan's tomb, the so-called Queen of Sheba's bath, the 4th century Tuareg Homayam and 6th century Dunga palaces, the monasteries of Abba Pentalon and Abba Lycanos, and the Lioness of Godidra rock art. Local legend claims the Queen of Sheba lived in the town. Climate. Car paragraph PPEN Geiger Climate Classification System classifies its climate as subtropical highland. Demographics. According to Central Statistical Agency of Ethiopia, as of July 2012 the town of Axum's population was 56,576. The census indicated that 30,293 of the population were females and 26,283 were males. The 2007 national census showed that the town population was 44,647, of whom 20,741 were males and 23,906 females. The majority of the inhabitants said they practiced Ethiopian Orthodox Christianity, with 88.03% reporting that as their religion, while 10.89% of the population were Muslim. The 1994 national census reported a total population for the city of 27,148, of whom 12,536 were men and 14,612 were women. The largest ethnic group reported was the Tigrayan, and Tigray was spoken as a first language by 98.68%. The majority of the population practiced Ethiopian Orthodox Christianity, with 85.08% reported as embracing that religion, while 14.81% were Muslim. Transportation. Air transportation in Axum is served by the Axum Airport. Education. The Axum University was established in Axum in May 2006 on a greenfield site, 4 kilometers from the town center. The inauguration ceremony was held on February 16, 2007. The current area of the campus is 107 hectares, with ample room for expansion. The establishment of a university in Axum is expected to contribute much to the ongoing development of the country in general and of the region in particular. See also, List of megalithic sites, List of World Heritage Sites in Ethiopia. References. Further reading, Francis Anne Frey. Les Anciens Ethiopians. Paris, Armand Colin, 1991. Yuri M. Kobishkinov. Axum. University Park, Pennsylvania, University of Pennsylvania, 1979. ISBN 0-271-00531-9, David W. Philipson. Ancient Ethiopia. Axum, Its Antecedents and Successors. London, The British Brist Museum, 1998. David W. Philipson. Archaeology at Axum, Ethiopia, 1993 Euro 7. London, British Institute in Eastern Africa, 2000. ISBN 1-8725566-13-8, Stuart Munro Hay. Axum, An African Civilization of Late Antiquity. Edinburgh, University Press. 1991. ISBN 0-7486-0106-6 online edition, Stuart Munro Hay. Excavations at Axum, An Account of Research at the Ancient Ethiopian Capital directed in 1972-74 by the late Dr. Naval Chittick London, British Institute in Eastern Africa, 1989 ISBN 0-500-97008-4, Sergo Haile Selassie. Ancient and Medieval Ethiopian History to 1270 Addis Ababa, United Printers, 1972. African Zion, The Sacred Art of Ethiopia. New Haven, Yale University Press, 1993. External links, Ethiopian Treasures a Queen of Sheba, Aksumite Kingdom a Axum, Kingdom of Aksum article from About Archaeology, UNESCO a World Heritage Sites a Axum, the Metropolitan Museum of Art a Foundations of Aksumite Civilization and its Christian Legacy, on Axum, more on Axum, Axum from Catholic Encyclopedia, Final Obelisk Section in Ethiopia, BBC, April 25, 2005, Axum Heritage Site on Aluka Digital Library, Axum World Heritage Site and Panographies a 360-degree interactive imaging.